It's like a habit. I'm like, hey, what's up? Or hi, nice to meet you. I just bow a little bit, like not like 안녕하세요. And the number one habit you will absolutely develop after living in Korea, while living in Korea, is completely unavoidable. What's up, idols? It's Cece Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I thought it'd be fun to do another top so-and-so list about life in Korea as a foreigner, because they're fun to do. So today's video is going to be 9 reasons, 9 ways, 9 manners in which life in Korea will definitely change you. Some of these are habits I still have, and some are by choice, some are a bit more subconscious, but I don't mind either way. But before we get into that, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Right there. Skillshare is this really useful online learning community, and although they cover so many topics, videography, cinematography, cooking, travel, editing, all that good stuff that I tend to relate to and that helps me, the main thing is their Korean classes. Kim Ki Kwan has helped me get better with listening and practicing exercises. There's adjectives, different forms of different words that I have always been really confused about, so this helps seeing it practically used in actual real life sentences where I can go back and rewind, re-listen, take notes. There's overviews and quizzes, so it feels like a really proper, well-rounded educational tool. And we all know K-pop and K-dramas are very inspirational for helping you learn Korean. So there's another class by Olivia Kim, and she uses some K-pop stuff. Song lyrics and Korean dramas are really useful for learning Korean, so this one was a really interesting find. And for those who are interested, there's a link in the description box below where you get 1 whole month for free. You get free premium access to Skillshare, the first 1,000. So be fast, click the link, and let's go. Now the first and the obvious one is the language. You will definitely pick up the language, whether you go to study the language, whether you go to travel, vacation, are you going as a teacher, you just pick it up. A lot of people have asked about that. They're like, oh, did you study Korean before you went? What do I do? Like, I haven't started yet, but I want to go like next month or whatever. I did study a bit before I went, but I know far more foreigners who went there not knowing like any Korean, and they're still there and they're fine. When you're immersed into the culture, you pick up some things. So the language is definitely going to be one of them. For me in particular, my kids wanted to teach me. They're like, teacher, okay, I say in English, you say in Korean, things like that. So you will definitely pick up the language. You shouldn't worry too much about going there with not knowing how to speak it, but I will definitely recommend that you at least know how to read Hangul, and that's pretty easy. That's the easy part about learning Korean. Receiving and giving things with 2 hands. Now, before I went to Korea, you know, it was normal to hand something off and give it to somebody with 1 hand, but now I do it like with 2. It's just like I receive things with 2 hands and I give something with 2 hands. It's kind of hard to show you. There's like you hold your hand when you do it. There's also holding your hands when you do it. It feels more polite to me, and it's just kind of something that I mostly subconsciously do. Number 7, I am more vocal when I listen to people. Here's what I mean. I pride myself on being a really good listener. Honestly, I think that's like my best trait. Like, even when I don't want to listen to people and when I want to ignore them, I can't. But like in Korea, they go very vocal when they're listening to you say something. And I think that's something that I've kind of picked up too. I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm a lot more vocal in general when I'm not speaking and when I'm just listening. Now the next one, I don't remember where I left off. Just keep going. One thing, and this is like not really a good thing that had developed, but I'm more paranoid about like privacy in general. Like if I'm in a hotel or if I'm in a public bathroom, I tend to be more like observant and suspicious about like a bottle that's randomly here, or any place that a light or like a camera could be hidden, because that is a really big problem in Korea, the spy cam situation. So even here in the States, I'm a lot more paranoid about that. So I'll kind of be like, I'll like face things away from me. I'll like do things in the dark so it's not as lit, like a well lit room. It's bad. Like that's probably like the worst habit I've developed from living in Korea. I'm a lot more visually like just cautious about cameras and things like that. But to counter that, while you're in Korea, this is not something necessarily that will be a permanent lasting effect, but like while you're in Korea, while you're living in Korea, you might go there a bit more paranoid, like as alert as you are in the country you come from. Like me being American, I don't go for walks at night in America by myself. I keep my blinds closed. I am very cautious about somebody following me or walking across the street, things like that. Like I'm paranoid. I'm just like, don't let me get close. But But in Korea, naturally, gradually, while you're there, you just become so much more relaxed about your surroundings. Not saying to completely let all caution go to the wind, but you do not have to worry about it as much. It just becomes second thoughts, and I miss that the most. I really miss just being out at night alone as a girl and not worried about being murdered or assaulted or going missing, whatever, you know, happens unfortunately to us all the time. But even when I got back to the States, I was paranoid about going to the movies and stuff because like mass shootings. I don't go out at night by myself like I did in Korea, so it's nice while it lasts, but while you're there you can enjoy that new mindset. You don't think about safety as much. The next one is I still slightly bow to people. Like when I'm greeting someone, I'm like, hi. It's like a habit. I'm like, hey, what's up? Or hi, nice to meet you. I just bow a little bit, like not like 안녕하세요. Like not like the 90-degree arms out like Naruto, but like I don't know if it's fully conscious or subconsciously, but sometimes I do it and I'm like, I did it again. Other times I do it and I don't even think about it. I just go, hi. Even when I was showing you guys the handing the thing off, I was like, it's just a habit now. And again, I apologize. There's a lot going on in my mind, so I don't know where we are in this list. But the next one will probably be egg yolk culture and the way you pose for photos and cutesy stuff in general. I'm personally someone who doesn't really appreciate opaya and that egg yolk cutesy stuff, but I do feel like I appreciate cute things. Like, I mean, I kind of always have. Or like I've always had, like even in college, I had like hella plushies on my bed and my mom's like, how old are you, Isis? You tend to do this in your pictures more. And shy, all that stuff. I guess that kind of goes like with the way people dress sometimes. Fashion, you know, everybody cares about fashion everywhere in the world, but I think with Korean style, it's really a lot of the shops are the same. Like you could go to 14 different stores and they will sell like the same sweater, the same skirt, the same jeans, the same printed sweatshirt. It's kind of unavoidable, and naturally you kind of adapt, I guess, that like cutesy egg yolk style or the sophisticated Nuna style, things like that. It's just, I guess that kind of all lumps together as one. Not in a bad way. Again, like it's just kind of, you assimilate. You just kind of pick up the things you see around you. Everybody wants to fit in and belong to some degree. And I feel like it kind of lingers with you when you go back home too. Number 2 on this list is drinking and nightlife in general. Whilst I was in college, I did go to like frat parties on Thirsty Thursdays. I went to clubs on spring break, but they were like 18 and over clubs because not all of us were 21 yet. So I was just like, you children. Even before I went to Korea, I drink sometimes. Like I'll have some wine coolers, some little cocktails. Drinking was kind of already a part of my life. Like I do it, it's fine. Clubbing, not so much. I did not really go to any clubs while I was in the States before Korea. Like I attempted to go to a club in New York City with one of my roommates, but then there was like this flood, like a pipe broke or whatever, so we ended up not going. And then we went to another place, but it was like right before they were closing, and it was a horrible blizzard that was about to come, and we did not want to be trapped in the city. So we're like, let's get on the train and go back to campus. But yeah, things like that. I did go to a few clubs, but I can literally count on one hand how many times I went clubbing before Korea. Whilst in Korea, I have Scout, no, that's Hunger Games. Scout's honor, I have lost count to how many times I went clubbing in Korea. And with Koreans being like so overworked all the time and so overstudied and overstressed, it's like your outlet. Like this is what you do. You're meant to go out on the weekends and drink. For the people who don't drink so much, sorry. But I have met a lot of people who didn't start off as drinkers and became it. Not in like an abusive, alcoholic type of way, but like in a more, this is okay to let loose socially type of way, and you just become more acclimated to clubbing and drinking and soju. And the number 1 habit you will absolutely develop after living in Korea, while living in Korea, is completely unavoidable, is skincare. You will start to pay attention to the abundance of skin shops and ads and advertisements and commercials, for better for worse. Like some people like me go there and they're like happy to upgrade skincare and learn more about steps and routines and what is good for you long term, what you should do to prevent wrinkling and large pores and all that stuff. But you know, it's also a lot of pressure to to look great all the time. I've said that before a lot too. But skincare, man, it's unavoidable. You're gonna be like, start Googling about oil cleansers, foam cleansers, water-based cleansers, toner, ampoule, serum.
A few moments later.
Creams, night creams, masks, sheet masks. It just happens. It slowly but surely happens. It's fun though. Like honestly, I have a lot of fun with skincare, so I don't mind it. It can be expensive though. That's where it can get you in trouble. It can hit them pockets. But overall, I think that's a really good habit you will develop and a good positive change that your life might have because of living in Korea. Skincare. Yeah. So yeah, that was a quick little video. Habits you will probably likely form living in Korea as a foreigner. 10 things you might discover. 10 ways that life in Korea will change you. Okay, yeah. Thanks for watching if you did. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.